Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you the speed version of the live stream from July 25th, 2019. This is where Peg and I have a live channel that streams every Thursday morning at 10:30 Central, 8:30 Pacific, every Thursday. So this is my portion of it, and what I was working on was the Art Joy of Sharing mood board for July. And I have the printout of it there so that you can see. It's very pastel colors, kind of dreamy, with some flowers and some clouds, um, light pink, light blue, lavender. So the theme of the show for this week was paint, paper, print. And so I wanted to use all those elements. So I started out with some gel printing with my small square um, gel plate directly to the paper with some light colors to make a background. And then my next step was to start collaging. I mostly collaged with some napkins, different ones, looking for the right colors and the right, there's this grid on the mood board, kind of a grid looking thing, and I wanted to have that shape as a theme. I'm using different napkins from my collection and just taking sections of them. This is in a small Dilutions journal, which is 5.5 by 8.5 inches. So I've got like 11 inches by 8 inches there. So I'm taking small pieces of the napkin and putting them in different areas, just making sort of busy but interesting background. The nice thing about collaging with napkins is that they're translucent, so you can see the layers that you put down before underneath. So you can see some of the blues and pinks and purples coming through. And then on this one napkin, there's a grid design, so I used that one. It has some grays in it. And I'm just taking different sections of the napkins. You do want to separate the plies of your napkins. I just want the top ply that has the printing on it. So I have to take some of the layers of the napkin off. And then I just collage them on using some Deco Art napkin medium. This is a type of glue that's specifically made for napkins and tissue papers. So I continue doing that until I'm happy with the background. I do start moving into some more opaque paper like that little piece and the pink piece on the right that I'm trimming right now. Kind of accidentally trimmed the page while I was doing that, but didn't mean to. And just making a pretty background with all the different colors from the mood board. I picked out the pieces in advance so that I could do this quickly, but the page didn't end up taking me the entire show, which is an hour and a half. I thought it was going to be a lot quicker than that. I obviously overestimate my ability to do things quickly, probably from watching myself do art in 4 times fast. It's probably why I think I do it faster than I do. So once I was happy with how the background looked, with all my different collage pieces and colors and shapes, I decided to add some more paint over the top for a little bit of integration using a stencil. These 3 stencils come together as a set from Stencil Girl. They were designed by Mary Beth Shaw. And I always thought when I looked at them, they're squares. But when I watched Mary Beth live stream on Facebook using these, I realized how useful they are. I'm only going to use the small one, and it's not really a good representation of what you can do with them. But I wanted to try to make a grid like the one that was on the mood board. So I'm using the same colors, that light blue, light pink, purple, and white. And it's a little bit hard to see, but there's a couple places where I think there's too much of something. Too much of this bright pink because it's not on, I was looking for all pastels. Too much of that postmark looking thing. And I can integrate those areas by going with the grid over the top and kind of calming them down a little bit to make them not such bright spots of color draw your eye. Of course, I kind of think I made targets out of the pink ones once I put the grids over the top. So then my next step was to add my focal image. And when I thought about this project in my head, I was going to do a reverse painting. I was going to draw everything and then paint out the background and let the images stand out with the colors from the background coming through. That was my intention. I don't know what happened. I guess I forgot that's what I was going to do. And instead I just painted my focal images right over the top, and that's fine. You know, it just wasn't, sometimes what you have in your head doesn't actually happen because you get distracted, especially when you're live streaming and talking and paying attention to the chat and all that stuff. So yeah, so I drew a branch, and then I'm drawing flowers in the shapes of the ones that are on the mood board. I kind of think it's a something like maybe a cherry tree or something. There's a little branch and some white flowers on one panel, and then on above it, there's these same little white flowers in a girl's hair. So I like trees, I like flowers, and I thought those would be nice to spread over the page. So I'm using my Stabilo All pencil, which is a water reactive pencil, and I'm using the black one to draw my images. And then I have some white paint and some light pink paint. And I'm using the small flat brush, water brush from Arteza to pick up my acrylic paint and paint it on. Doing the white first and then adding a little bit of that light pink in the center of the flower. So if you go over and watch the real-time version of this video, which there will be a link on the in screen, you'll be able to just go right to it. You'll see what drawing looks like in real time because if you watch my channel, I draw fairly frequently, but it's always sped up because it's not about the drawing, it's about the finished product. So I usually speed it 4 to 8 times fast. So if you really want to see what my drawing speed is in real life, you can go watch the real version of the live stream. It's a recording now, of course, because it's already over, but it's the recorded version and you can see what it's like. I also used that same brush to kind of add shadows around the outside of the flowers by blending the Stabilo All. And then I finished up with some sparkles. They're actually made for nails, but it's kind of like a large size glitter in the center of all the flowers using my picking tool to apply them. And then I added the word dream because I kind of thought the whole thing was kind of dreamy. The whole July mood board was kind of dreamy. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment or a question if you have one below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your notification bells. And if this is the last video you're watching today, before you leave YouTube, please click over to someone who has a few million subscribers. Thanks. Bye-bye.